Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to give you an update on my 3-year retirement challenge. Now I'm not going to break down the entire challenge. I already did a video. I've got it right here. I'll link it above. I'll put it in the description that really talks about the full overview of what I'm actually doing in this challenge. But the gist of this challenge is to be able to take a $5,000 investment. It's a little more than that, but take a $5,000 investment and to be able to turn that into $50,000 per year in passive income, getting paid out primarily in Apex cryptocurrency assets. We're talking about being able to earn a passive income in Bitcoin, BNB, Ethereum, USDT, stuff like that. Now, here's the key. When we talk about getting paid out, we're talking about getting paid out by projects that are paying us in a real yield. We're not talking about some sort of project that's like yield farming where they're just going to pay us out in a token that they're printing out of thin air. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about projects that are actually earning a profit, and they take that profit and they redistribute it to the token holders, their token holders. But their profits are from real business activity, and most of it's going to be paid out in Bitcoin, BNB, and Apex crypto assets like that, Ethereum, Tron, etc. I'm going to go through with you today and talk about what projects I'm in. And keep in mind, if you've seen my video on the entire strategy, there's high risk projects that I expect will have a short lifespan, meaning they are going to end. I think the end is inevitable, so they're very high risk. But at the same time, I'm able to pull profits out, high risk, hopefully high reward, and take those profits and throw them into real yield, more stable cryptocurrency projects that have no defined end date, and arguably, potentially, could last for years and years. In fact, some of them, one in particular, has already lasted 3 years and it's going into its 4th year now. So these projects may be around for a very long time. That's the goal. That's the goal. And then obviously, we're trying to get to at least $50,000 per year in passive income in those cryptocurrency assets. Now, I want to talk about where we're at in the overall cryptocurrency market first, because this has a lot to do with understanding why I decided to start this challenge now, because I really decided to start this inside of a bear market. And I think a bear market is the best time, even though you could do it in a bull market. I think the bear market is the best time to do a project like this. And first, I want you to understand that even though right now Bitcoin dipped under $17,000, Ethereum's at just over $1,200, for example, BNB is at $288. I believe that it is likely within the next several weeks, even the next several months, we could see these cryptocurrency prices go down a lot more. But long term, over the next several years, I think we're going to see prices go up. Now, let me first explain why I think I'm short-term bearish, short to medium-term bearish, but long-term very bullish. I'm short-term bearish because of a couple of things. I believe that the economies around the world may likely continue to dip. I believe there's a 50-50 shot that we could have a very, very bad economy next year. And we may see Bitcoin drop significantly lower, the stock prices drop significantly lower overall. That is, I believe we have a 50-50 shot of that next year. If that happens, it's going to hurt crypto prices. Also, even if that doesn't happen, even if the economy doesn't get any worse than it is right now, we've got a lot of potential regulations that are going to be coming to the crypto space. And I believe a lot of those regulations may limit or restrict access to overall cryptocurrency markets. I'm generally not a fan of regulations because I think the people who are responsible for writing those regulations are lawmakers. And those lawmakers get into power primarily from donations from large financial interests, like the current banking system, for example, like Wall Street. And I don't think the current banking system or Wall Street is too keen on having a cryptocurrency marketplace that allows you and me to have the exact same opportunities that we have now. So I believe that we could see overall markets drop with restrictive regulations, if they're restrictive, and they may not be. But I think they are going to be restrictive, and I think that could overall cause prices to drop, at least in the short to medium term. Now, long term, I think prices are going to go up, and I can explain all that in another video. I've oftentimes talked about why I'm long-term bullish on cryptocurrency, but I am very bullish long-term. 3, 4, 5, 10 years from now, I believe we're going to see cryptocurrency prices 10 times, 20 times higher than we see them right now. I genuinely believe that. Actually, right now, I'm more bullish on Ethereum than I am Bitcoin, medium to long term. Long term, more bullish on Bitcoin. But I think we're going to see greater gains in the next bull market. I think we'll see greater gains on Ethereum versus Bitcoin. None of this is considered financial advice, by the way. I am simply a cryptocurrency enthusiast, cryptocurrency YouTuber. I am not a financial advisor. Don't take advice from cryptocurrency YouTubers. Okay. Now, because I'm bullish long term, bear market means that my overall returns can be much greater in a bull market. So, for example, if I get $50,000 in current Bitcoin prices, let's say that I have an investment that's paying me $50,000 per year in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's priced at $16,000. Well, when Bitcoin goes to $30,000, then that means my $50,000 a year simply becomes $100,000. If it goes to 60,000, then I'm going to 4x. So I'm going to go all the way to almost $200,000 per year in income. So I believe now is the time to start earning these income streams because I'm essentially bringing in US dollar values into these investments that I'm making. So even if Bitcoin continues to drop, let's say Bitcoin goes, God forbid, below 10,000. Worst case scenario, let's say it goes to 5,000. Could it go lower than that? Who knows? But if it did, it's okay because again, I'm bringing in US dollar values. If I'm getting paid $50,000 per year, but Bitcoin's at $5,000, when Bitcoin goes up 10 times, that means my $50,000 per year goes up 10 times. All of a sudden, I'm at $500,000 a year. I think this is a really fun challenge, and I'm going to show you the investments that I'm investing in here in a moment. But the goal is to be able to earn $50,000 per year in passive income. Now, does this mean that I'm strictly retiring on cryptocurrency? No, it doesn't mean that at all, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get that twisted in any way, shape, or form. This is just a fun challenge. I have other investments, other retirement strategies. Like, this is not my real retirement. This is just a fun challenge. And the reality is if I'm making $50,000 per year in passive income in cryptocurrency, I'm probably not going to be living off of it. I'm probably going to be cashing part of it out in USDC or BUSD or something. And then the other part, I'm going to keep it in the cryptocurrency market overall. So I'm not actually planning to live on this. I don't think cryptocurrency yet is in a place where anyone can truly retire off the passive income from cryptocurrency because it's too volatile. The real gains in cryptocurrency will be if we have that bull market that I think we're going to have. That's where the real gains are going to be. But then you're still going to have to ultimately sell if you want to be able to invest in something stable to be able to have a real retirement, whether that's real estate or dividend stocks or your 401k, IRA, whatever. So don't think that I'm advocating like, oh my goodness, he's so naive. He thinks he's really going to retire. No, this is a fun challenge. Most people could retire on $50,000 per year. I think I can take a $5,000 investment or $6,000 investment and be able to turn that into $50,000. Maybe it's a $10,000 investment, but I think I can ultimately turn that into $50,000 per year in passive income. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. So let's look at what I'm investing in. Right now, there's two types of projects. First is high-risk projects with a known, well, I say there's a lifespan. I think all of them ultimately will fail, in my personal opinion. Even though the developers oftentimes say that they're not going to fail, listen, I'm skeptical of any project that can pay these kind of returns being able to last for any length of time. First project that I went into was Furio. And shortly after I got into Furio, they changed several things about the project and it became less profitable. I continued to lean into the project at that point, and they changed their LMS again and dropped it down to $1 per token. I've started to withdraw once or twice a week. So far, I've only taken out $63. This has been a colossal failure, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be full transparent. This has been a colossal failure. I don't think I'm going to be able to get, this $3,900 out. We will see. When I make withdrawals now out of Furio, I'm throwing that into my longer term real yield passive income projects. We'll show you that a little bit later in the video. Farm of Fortune. So I looked at Farm of Fortune. When I first got a little bit nervous about Furio, I started looking for possible alternatives. Farm of Fortune is a project where they claim that you could stake your BNB, it's on the Binance Smart Chain, stake your BNB on their platform. They would invest your BNB for like cake pools, for example, and through a complicated term called rehypothecation, that basically they were going to earn a return, and that return they were going to pay back out to you. They would pay you up to 200% on your investment, and over a 200-day period, I believe it is, and then, or maybe it's 400%. Either way, they were going to pay you out for 200 days, 2% a day for 200 days, so that's 400%. And when I first went into the project, they claimed they were trying to end the Ponzi-nomics, and it was a community project, and you're supposed to do 50-50 reinvest, and it looked interesting what they were trying to do. So I threw a couple hundred into it, and the next day I threw a couple hundred more, and I got looking at the project, and I just thought, there's no way this actually works, because what they're claiming to do mathematically does not seem possible to me, unless I'm somehow missing it somewhere. And when I covered this project, I mentioned that in the video. Mathematically, I don't know how they can pull off what they're attempting to pull off without somehow making significant adjustments to the contract, similar to what Furio did. And I did not understand mathematically how they could break their quote-unquote Ponzi-nomics. So I stopped investing in it. And I just kind of sat on the sidelines for a minute. I came across Momentum Finance. So this is currently my #1 project. Now, what I'm doing with Furio, I'm just withdrawing once or twice a week. I'm putting that into my long-term projects, which are on the next spreadsheet I'll show you in a moment. Farm of Fortune, ironically, I'm almost broke even. My next withdrawal, which will be in a couple of days, you can withdraw every 5 days on this project. I'll be in profits on this project, which is crazy because it's one I didn't think was going to do great and is looking like it's doing okay. When I pull out my profit, I'm going to start reinvesting at that point, probably 50-50 reinvest. So every 5 to 7 days, I'll be making a withdrawal, and I'll be putting those withdrawals also into one of my long-term projects. And again, we'll discuss exactly what project that is in a moment, but it's paying out a real yield at between 40 to 55% APR. And I'll show you that in a minute, or APY. Momentum Finance is currently my #1. So if you saw my full strategy video, you know that I make it a habit of not over-investing in a project, meaning over-diversifying, not over-investing, over-diversifying. I don't want to water down returns by investing into 50 projects and 45 are failures, for example. I want to make certain that I'm able to earn a return on a project, but I want to maximize that return. So I try to look for good projects without deception, meaning I don't want anything that's a scam. I don't want them to claim something that they're not doing. Even though the tokenomics may not be sustainable long term, as long as they're transparent about the tokenomics and what they're trying to do, then I can get behind that project. And Momentum Finance is one of them. Recently did a video explaining this project. I'll link that above. I'll put it in the description. As far as how the mechanics of Momentum Finance work, if you watch my video on Momentum, you'll see that the idea is the token price continues to go up little by little. And let's just come over here and look at the dashboard. So when I got into this project, the price was 1.4, and it goes up and down a little bit, but it tends to trend up. Now we're at 1.61. So far, I've invested $2,465. At this moment, I have this sitting in my wallet. This is not staked on the platform. It's in my wallet. So I'm down a little bit, but I bonded, and I don't want to explain what that is. I did that in the previous video, but essentially I stake my tokens on the platform to avoid paying taxes, and I get a few released every single day. When all these become released, I'm going to have more than my initial investment sitting in here, and I'll be able to withdraw that. My goal at this point is to run this up to about $5,000. I'll probably withdraw half of it at that point. I'll invest that into the long-term project I'm going to talk to you that's paying out a real yield here in a moment. And I'm going to let the rest ride for a while longer. You also get dividends on the trading fees that come in through the platform. And these are trading fees paid out in BUSD. So you can withdraw them, you can claim them, you can compound to a bond, whatever you want to do. For now, I'm compounding them. So I'm getting, at this point, the trading fees, when I did my original video on this project, the trading fees weren't that great. They're paying out pretty good right now. I mean, I'm getting $10, $15, $18 a day in trading fees, which is pretty decent on a percentage basis. So I'm compounding to a bond. Long story short, compounding to a bond saves you gas fees and it saves you on taxes. There are taxes in this project that help keep it sustainable in the short term. Now, the reason I said I may do an update on Momentum is because their development team does have very real, very significant plans on producing real revenue for this project. Now, I have mixed feelings about the ability to be able to do it, but I give them credit for having very real plans, and they continue to develop. They've recently launched on the Avalanche chain. I'm not on the Avalanche chain, primarily because I think, well, there's going to be more volume, more potential people are on the Binance Smart Chain. So I'm going to continue to stay right here on the Binance Smart Chain for me personally. And I'm not endorsing this project in any way, shape, or form. I talked about in my previous video how this has potential to last for several months. And in the meantime, be able to earn me a really good return. So this is one of my short-term projects. High risk, hopefully a very high return. So this has been my high-risk projects. Again, this is about 6 weeks old. So let's look at my longer-term projects. So the whole goal is to take these profits and to put them into longer term projects, primarily the BFG token and the STARS token. Now, the STARS token is a similar project. It's a gaming platform just like BFG. However, I just wanted to show you, this is a previous investment that I made. I'm currently getting 124% APR, or it's actually APY. 124% APY on this project. I like this project a lot, but we are getting diluted little by little because the project is very brand new. It's just how these projects work. And without going all the details, it's just a gaming platform. They all work very much the same way. But this return that we're getting is coming from dividends on the actual platform. Now, this token is not tradable yet. You can't buy it anywhere. You have to be able to mine it on the platform. And I have a whole video series dedicated to that. Now, the BFG token in particular is very different. You can originally, for the first year of this project, this is the one that's starting on its 4th year, so over 3 years old. Originally, you could only mine this token just like the STARS token, but then they put it on a decentralized exchange on the Binance Smart Chain, the BuySwap exchange. This project now, you can buy the tokens. So I currently have, at the time that I did this spreadsheet, which was yesterday, I have $276 in BFG tokens staked on the platform, which is only earning me 36 cents per day, but that comes out to a 47% APR. Keep in mind, if I was at $2,700 here, I would be getting about $3.06 per day. That could be sustainable as long as the business continues to do well. BFG tokens, what I'm focusing on, I'm going to build this up. And this is the project. This is one of the projects where I'm going to be earning that part of that $50,000 per year. I got the STARS token up here just for full transparency because this is an investment I already previously made. And I may move this down a little bit later. Just move it down to like down here or something like that. But ultimately, I've got another 1, 2, 3 projects I'm reviewing that are also paying out 20, 30, 40, 50% APRs in real yield. And I may be adding these projects a little bit later. But right now, I'm going to continue to build my position with the BFG token. If you want to make certain that you don't miss any of my monthly updates, make certain that you subscribe to the channel. You click that bell notification icon and click all. Now, if you want to be updated more often on what's going on, you want a full breakdown on what I'm doing it and be the first to know when I make changes to this project that I'm doing, this challenge, then come down here, subscribe to our 3-year Crypto Retirement Challenge. The link is in the description. Once you subscribe, you will get a full breakdown of my challenge in a text document. You will also find out how I'm finding sustainable high yield investments and what investments I find. You'll be one of the first ones to know. You'll be able to follow along with exactly what my progress is. You're going to get secret details that are not on my channel. So like, for example, I saw some things in Furio early on, and I did talk about that openly, like I knew what those risks were. Typically, a lot of times I talk about what are the risks with projects, and then I talk about my goal to attempt to mitigate some of those potential risks. And a lot of times what I see as a risk is not a popular opinion. So I keep that secret for those that are subscribed. You also get access to our invite-only Telegram group. This is a free Telegram group, but you have to have an invitation to get in. I'll send you an invitation once you subscribe as well. And we're, of course, getting passive income in Apex cryptocurrency assets like these 4 right here. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe in the future of cryptocurrency. I believe in this technology, and I believe it's going to change the world. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.